Danny, you awake? You sleeping?
Far from it.
You watch Chris's footage of the headless guy?
Yeah, it was freaky as hell.
When was the last time you were afraid? Really afraid?
I need way more subscribers, guys. Come on.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Heavy Leather Horror Show podcast, your weekly guide to all things horror from the heart of Witch City, Salem, Massachusetts.
We're so lucky to be young and in love and in Salem.
We sure are, everybody, and I just want to remind you that we are Salem's #1 horror podcast. #1! Although, Stacy, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Kelly broke some news.
Yeah, hold on a second.
Kelly broke some news earlier this week.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, no, I don't know. Apparently, there's another podcast in Salem, a horror podcast in Salem.
Oh no!
That has us. That we currently, as you know, Stace, we currently have a sterling rating over on iTunes.
Mm-hmm.
8 solid 5-star ratings.
Yeah.
But apparently, this other podcast has 20 5-star ratings.
But how many episodes do they have?
Dare they?
A lot. They've been on for years.
They've been on since 2017.
Well, if they've been for years and they only have 20, that doesn't mean anything.
That's what I said.
But at the moment, they are Salem's #1 podcast, and the only way we can fix that is
by fighting to the.
Yeah, I agree.
Is for everybody to go and give us some 5-star ratings.
Fucking death.
On iTunes. What's the name of the podcast, Kelly? Do you remember?
No.
Okay.
Hold on, I'll look.
They're two.
I mean, we shouldn't tell people that. People should just leave reviews for this podcast.
They're two.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're two
Please leave positive
teenage
reviews
girls.
for us.
But as far as I know, though, from what I hear, they are the daughters of the guy that owns the comic book shop. So I think that the odds are stacked against us if every comic book nerd in town is aware of their podcast, right?
Not necessarily.
Well, we need to make every horror freak in Salem aware of this podcast. We should outnumber them.
I'm your old pal Ken, a.k.a. Rock and Roll Writer, Sleaze Grinder, and there she is, everybody. It's Salem's greatest hauntress. It's Kelly Kapow.
Hello. Oh, what if I'm number 2? Salem's number 2.
Let's fucking party.
You can't be.
Hauntress.
You can't be Salem's #2 hauntress. You know all the. You know all the hauntresses in Salem, right? And you are the queen of them all.
I don't know, man. I'm not feeling so good anymore after that.
Also with us.
That's our confidence.
Also with us tonight. I didn't mean to. Don't worry. By the end of this, you'll be feeling on top again. There he is, everybody. It's our 16-year-old intern. It's Rui, everybody.
Wow.
I was a teenage werewolf. Fantastic. Bewildering.
What's the best part? What's the best part about being 16?
Well, you can get away with things, like stealing VHS players from public offices.
You could kill somebody and you wouldn't have to go to jail because you're only 16.
That's literally not true.
That's
not
totally true. He's underage. He can't.
Still have to go to jail. You can be tried as an adult. Don't murder anyone.
He would be put in an adult prison.
No. They would put him in juvie for 2 years and then they would let him go.
That depends on the crime.
Well, he is white, so yeah, he can. Right, never mind.
Also producing the show tonight, horror show director Stacy Dawn.
No one messes with Stacy and lives.
Hey, Stacy.
Hey.
And guess what? Guess who's back? The cool creep. Kate Douglas is back.
I'm back.
Applause, everybody.
Yeah.
She's back.
About fucking time.
I know. I'm so sorry to be away for so long.
By the way, the band that does your theme song there, Roach Motel, are from, that's right, Gainesville, Florida.
Ooh.
Have you ever been there?
Gainesville. Oh, I've been. Don't love it. Not great.
Also, also with us tonight, Stacy, the leader of the Lure Survivors, America's #1 celebrity lesbian, or as we sometimes call them, celesbians. It's Larsa! Yeah! Yeah! She almost won. She almost won Survivor 37. Came so close.
Thank you.
And she might again. Who knows?
What?
You might again.
Why would I do?
Maybe you'll be.
Why might I?
Maybe they'll invite you back for another round.
Oh, I'll say yes. It's good money.
Not only that,
Happy belated birthday, by the way.
oh yeah, happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. It's awesome getting old. Everything hurts.
How did your birthday go? Did you have a good time? You went out to dinner. You got some instant cameras. Everything sounds like it was a beautiful time.
Yeah, I got an instant camera,
Yep.
and our roommate gave me one of those egg cookers, like the tiny thing that you put like several eggs and cook a couple of eggs at the same time, because I wanted one of those. And my cats are being stupid. And I went to dinner to my favorite restaurant. So yeah, it was good.
Beautiful.
You are getting old if you ask for a fucking egg cooker.
Listen, that's what,
Girl, let me tell you, the next morning I feel like so fucking old.
because of all the
At
eggs.
least you had your eggs.
Yeah, I tried it on today. It's really good. You can like do scrambled eggs and poached eggs.
Oh my
and,
God!
like,
It sounds excellent.
it's good,
Excellent.
It sounds excellent. All right. Well, Stace, are the bats? Are they in the belfry? Yes. Sounds like it. Okay. Monsters chained up in the basement. All right. Check. The wolves are they howling? The wind.
There we go.
Is the wind lashing at the house? Oh. Well, if all that's happening, and it sounds like it is, that can only mean one thing. It's time to start the show.
What does it mean?
It's time to start the show, everybody. Let's see what's on the menu this evening.
Boiled peanuts and sweet potatoes.
Oh, that's something, Stace.
Sure.
What else is on the menu? Well,
Oh, market basket
Hopefully
ragu.
some
thank
horror.
you. Also, we've got some horror news. We've got some horror reviews. We're gonna talk about some bad news, Stace, and we're gonna talk about a movie together. This week, it's fire up your hashtags, everybody. It's another social media driven horror film. This week, it's Fallout, everybody, that we're gonna be talking about. So all those things are gonna happen. But I wonder, Stace, since Kate is back, does that also mean, Kate, does that mean the Murder Minute is back?
Yes, it's back. I couldn't come back and not have a murder for you.
Stace, if we can.
Yay, homicide.
You guys ready?
It's time for the Murder Minute.
Ready.
Alrighty. So I'm pretty sure that I have done this on our other show, Heavy Leather Topless Dance Party, very briefly one night. But I wanted to give a little bit more time to it today.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you about the death of Elisa Lamb.
Oh my God, I love this.
There's a lot of debate on whether or not, not debate. There's, if you say her name, Elisa, I learned it Elisa Lamb, so I'm going to say that. but I'll refer to her by her last name most of the time when I'm talking about her. So she was the daughter of immigrants from Hong Kong. She was from Vancouver, British Columbia in Canada, and she was for a time a student at the University of British Columbia, although at the time of her death in 2013, she was not actively enrolled at the university. When she was 21, in early 2013, she decided to take a trip to California. It was all planned out. On January 26th, she arrived in LA. After 2 days of being in LA, she checked into the Cecil Hotel, which is in downtown LA near Skid Row. She was initially checked into a shared room on the hotel's 5th floor, but the roommates in that shared room started complaining to hotel staff, and the hotel's lawyer would later say they were describing certain odd behavior. So she was moved into a room of her own after being in that shared room for 2 days. Side note, a little about the Cecil. The hotel itself was originally built in the 1920s as a business hotel, but like many other businesses, it fell on hard times during the Great Depression, and it never really got back to its original glory. That section of LA kind of took a downturn, and a lot of very famous homicides and other things happened inside the hotel. If you're familiar with the Pigeon Lady of Pershing Square, she was raped and murdered in a room at the Cecil. Richard Ramirez also lived in the Cecil for a while he was actively on a murder spree. There have also been numerous suicides. So back to Eliza Lamb. I'm gonna pause while my cat destroys my apartment. He's literally pulling keys out of stuff. Okay. So every day on her trip, she had contacted her parents while she was traveling, but on January 31st, she failed to do so. It was also the day she was scheduled to check out of the Cecil and go to Santa Cruz for the next leg of her trip. However, when her parents didn't hear from her, they got worried because she had been so good at checking in. They called LAPD. No one could find her. Her family flew to LA to try and look for her. Police searched her room, searched it as much as they could without any probable cause to search other parts of the hotel. Couldn't find her. In February, they started releasing stuff to social media and putting up flyers around LA. The stuff that they released to social media included the last known surveillance footage of her, which shows her in the hotel's elevator acting very oddly. She looks around, she looks scared, she moves her body in unnatural ways. It's a super weird clip that has garnered a ton of attention on the internet. But, no one knew where she was. No one had seen her. During the search, the guests at the hotel started complaining about low water pressure in the shower and on the taps, and that some of the water was coming out black and had a bad taste. This led them to look at the 1,000-gallon water tank on the hotel's roof. It was one of 4 water tanks. Inside, they found her body. So on February 21st of 2013, the LA Coroner's Office ruled her death an accidental drowning, even though they had no way of knowing how she could have gotten there, how she failed to show up on any other surveillance. The door to the roof of the Cecil was always locked. Guests couldn't get up there. The thing, the hatch to get into the water tank, was too heavy for someone of her stature to open. There's no way of knowing how she got herself into it. But they didn't feel like looking any further because she had a history of some mental health issues, and they were just nope, she killed herself, or she had some sort of mental episode and put herself in there for some reason. And that's the story.
Well,
they did track. They had some dogs do some sniffing around, and they did track her scent at a window where there is an emergency ladder. So
that is true. They did bring in
could
the
have climbed
sniffers
through the window and down the ladder. I mean, it's still really fucked up, and if you can watch the video all over the place. It's really scary.
Tonight's film, let's not forget, explains exactly what she was up to in that elevator.
Oh, sort of.
Well, that's not true.
It's in the movie. It's in the movie.
All right.
That's why I did this story.
Yeah, it's all the movie. Tonight's movie, all this stuff is based on the Cecil Hotel. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, not thinly veiled. It's
it's like
not well veiled, rather.
Like what do they call the killer in
The
the movie?
Nightcrawler.
The Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
You know, that Jake
With a-
Gyllenhaal movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With like
Not the Night Stalker. We're just gonna.
Yeah, and he's got like another satanic symbol on his palm instead of a pentagram.
Well, there you go,
Not
everybody.
subtle.
So, Elisa Lam, the jury is still out. Some say it's suicide, some say it's murder. Nobody knows exactly how she ended up in that tank, but all we know is that she ended up in that tank, and perhaps we'll never know. But I wonder if Kate, as our murder expert, has a theory as to what happened to Eliza.
That hotel is haunted as hell. The ghost got her. That is what I think happened.
Stace, she thinks that the ghost got her. Does that compute? I'm sorry, that's incorrect. That's incorrect. I'm
Such
sorry.
a fucking skeptic.
I'm sorry.
You think
but
you could prosecute ghosts?
Ooh, apparently people have married ghosts, so maybe.
I feel like how fucked up it is that people were in that hotel and they were drinking
I
that
know.
water
Yeah,
and bathing in that water.
They're drinking corpse water
Or
for a while.
Yeah,
For a while till they figured it out.
for a while.
2 weeks.
Excellent. Thank you. Stace, some applause for the murder minute. It's a very compelling murder. Although, are we sure it's a murder minute? Could be a suicide minute. Could be a suicide minute. Could be just a supernatural mix-em-up minute. Also, that's also possible. All right, thank you, Kate, and welcome back. Before we continue, Stace, I'm sorry, but we have to get to the week in death quickly, and then we'll move on. In 2002, LaWanda Page, American actress, Aunt Esther from Sanford and Son, dies of complications from diabetes at age 81. She was the best, Stace. You remember Aunt Esther?
Yep.
Watch it, sucker! That's what she used to say.
Smacking with her handbag.
Yeah, that was her line. She was also in Shakes the Clown. Great movie, Shakes the Clown. Anybody? Any Shakes the Clown fans?
I've never seen it.
Some people out there are nodding their heads. 2009, Patrick Swayze, American actor, dancer, songwriter. Do you know he was a songwriter, Stace?
Yeah, he did do. I think he did one of the songs in the Dirty Dancing.
Of course, he was the star of Dirty Dancing and Ghost and Roadhouse.
Donnie Darko.
Hey, Rui, ever seen Roadhouse?
The Outsiders.
I haven't. No.
You're missing out.
I've seen Donnie Darko though.
Patrick Swayze, everybody, 2009, dies of cancer, age 57.
Terrible.
That one was really upsetting to me, Stace.
Yeah.
Really reminds you how
so
random
sad.
this all is. Why would that guy be dead? Now, speaking of other guys dead, 2019, Eddie Money, singer-songwriter and guitarist. That guy, Stace, I understand that guy being dead. Many hits. Take Me Home Tonight, Shaken. Name some other, Stace. Eddie Money hits. Go ahead.
Of course, now you're putting me on the spot.
He died of. He had many hits.
He did.
He died of esophageal cancer at age 70. Stacy and I saw him probably in 2018, I would say.
Yeah, it wasn't that long before that, really.
And he looked pretty beat up, if you ask me. Right?
Yeah. He didn't look his best.
1992. Let's go back to 1992. Anthony Perkins, American actor and also singer, known mostly from Psycho, the 1960 movie. Remember that guy, Stace?
Yeah.
Dies from AIDS at age 60. R.I.P. Anthony Perkins. And finally this week, in 2003, Johnny Cash.
Damn.
American country singer. I Walk the Line, Ring of Fire, Boy Named Sue, etc., etc. Dies at 71 from complications from diabetes. He was also, by the way, a rough-looking 71. You know what I mean, Stace? You can look 70 and, look young and spry.
Sure.
That wasn't him, though.
I mean, considering all what he was getting up to, no wonder.
People forget that, if you are a musician and if you spent, a lifetime as a working musician, being on the road will wear you down. Being on the road is different than just hanging out in your house. You know what I'm saying, Rui?
Definitely.
So just keep that in mind as a young musician, ready to start his career as a grunge rocker. Imagine what you're going to look like at 71. You might look like Johnny Cash.
I mean, first I'd have to get famous.
Or Eddie Money. I mean, just be careful out there. Just be careful. Yeah. All right, everybody. That's it for this week in the Week in Death. I would remind you to enjoy every breath because death is coming for you, and you never know when.
He's right behind you.
So R.I.P. everybody, and
Flush.
We'll see you all in hell. Clogged again.
Oh no!
Clogged again. Let me try again.
Damn.
I'll try again. Hold on. Oh boy.
Ooh, it's gonna start flooding.
This is like that. This is like that Eliza Lamb situation. Let me try one more time. Hold on.
God.
All right, one more time. Here we go. There. Okay, good. Oh, nice and clear. Nice and clear. Don't worry,
I've gone
Stace.
for weeks.
We're not.
And you didn't get that fixed.
We're not drinking any corpse water here, Stace. They're all gone.
Yeah, now it's just sewer water.
Right. A few things before we get to the movies. Hey, Hocus Pocus gets its own board game, everybody. Halloween 2020 just gets spookier and spookier. Hocus Pocus the game is from Ravensburger Games and was inspired by Disney's classic 1993 movie, which I've never seen. In this board game, the Sanderson sisters are brewing up their wicked potion, and it's up to the 6 players to stop them in their tracks. To get the game started, according to the description, you can play potion ingredients to the cauldron and match the color of ingredients, while Winifred, Mary, and Sarah cast spells to thwart your plans. You can use such tricks as the burning rain of death to help you along. Sounds serious.
Ooh.
The game, available on Amazon for $19.97, includes 50 ingredient cards, a witch board, 13 spell cards, a sun token, and 4 trick tokens.
Is that available now?
It's available now, as we speak.
Holy shit. Oh. I know what I'm buying.
Go, Kelly, go.
So rush over to Amazon and get Hocus Pocus, the board game.
Oh, how fun. I can't wait.
Hey, Netflix offers Bird Box, Stranger Things, and more for free. Netflix is offering content such as Stranger Things and Bird Box with Sandra Bullock to stream without a subscription via a new watch-free site. Netflix tells Deadline.
Because they already have so much fucking money. They're just like, whatever.
They're just giving it away
Fuck
now.
it.
They're just giving it away. If you remember, Bird Box, which I have not seen, was a very big deal for a while back there. Remember that? Everybody was watching it. They couldn't get enough of it.
I saw it.
Lursa was unimpressed.
I wasn't either.
Kate was also unimpressed.
That's why I didn't see it. I just heard such bad
I
things about
saw it because my brother put it on and we're visiting. I was nobody to tell him take that crap out. So
we're looking at different marketing promotions to attract new members and give them a great Netflix experience, says Netflix guy. Visit the site to get a peek at the type of entertainment.
The guy. Netflix guy.
Thank you, Netflix guy.
Good research.
Yeah, you can. I didn't think it was important. To get a peek at the type of entertainment you can expect by watching the first episode of some of their most popular shows. It's the old.
That's evil.
It's the old bait and switch.
Yeah. Wow.
You go, wow, this show is good, and they go, all right, well, give us $8 and you can watch it some more. Check out the site at netflix.com/watch free. Yeah. I literally don't think I even know anybody who doesn't have Netflix. But if not, there you go. You can give it a shot. You can watch the first Stranger Things for free, and if you love it, you can watch some more.
if you have the money for it.
I've never seen it, but I think that people like it.
Do you just not watch things that are popular, Ken? Is that what happens? He hasn't seen Hocus Pocus. He hasn't seen The Exorcist. He hasn't seen Stranger Things.
But I've seen other things. I've seen lots of other stuff.
I guess.
I've seen Hocus Pocus, but I haven't seen the other two.
Wow. Well, your October is about to change.
Stranger Things doesn't interest me.
All right,
Neither does
everybody,
Exorcist.
it's time for bad news.
You ain't no big deal.
You know,
I love this one already.
there's a lot of bad news out there, and we got some more of it. So let's get to it.
Okay. Wife bites off husband's penis after he refuses to remove rat from bedroom. I mean, all right. Abraham Musanda, 52, from the Zambian town of Kitwe,
Sure.
was allegedly
Hold
attacked.
on. Let me try one more time.
Kitwe?
Kitwe? Yeah, let me check. You got it.
Kitwe.
You did it. You did it.
Okay. Was allegedly attacked by his 40-year-old wife, Mukupa, following an argument about the rodent. She claimed the animal was pestering her, and she became infuriated when she came home from drinks with pals to find the rat near her bed. Feeling unable to sleep while the pesky rodent had the run of the room, she ordered her husband to get rid of it. A scuffle apparently ensued when he refused, with Mukupa managing to sink her teeth into his genitals, causing a major tear, separating the penis from its owner.
Ouch!
Both wells like hurt.
Oh, damn it.
Gotta get rid of that rat.
That was his therapy rat.
But Bothwell Namuswa, deputy police commissioner for the Copperbelt province, told the Zambian Observer that the man underwent emergency surgery but did not press charges. He states the pair are essentially separated and live under the same roof in separate rooms.
Are they talking about the guy and his penis or the guy and his wife?
I think it's the guy and his penis.
Yeah, they keep him in one room.
You know, you go out for a night of drinks with the gals,
Yeah.
and when you come home, you want that fucking rat out.
You do not want a rat in the room.
You don't.
I feel
well,
like
he paid the ultimate price, didn't he?
But I feel, Kelly, I feel like, now I don't want to get into an argument about things, but I feel like she may have overreacted.
What if it was
Agree to disagree.
Okay. Right? Rui, doesn't that seem like a little bit too much?
I think it was his pet rat. That's why he didn't want to remove it. I know people with pet rats.
Me too.
You know, they're kind of cute, actually. I mean, the pet ones.
It used to be a thing in the 80s that would, like, punk girls would have rats.
They still do.
Oh, they do?
They do.
Yeah.
Usually like bald rats, some kind of like pink bald rats.
Like a naked mole rat.
Ugh.
I feel like girls with rats are always like really interesting.
I definitely interesting, for sure.
Maybe a little psycho.
Definitely interesting.
Well, I mean, they have to be better than someone who hates rats that's biting off penises, right?
Hey, yeah, exactly. Hey,
I mean, she's definitely interesting.
Exactly. Well, they both have a story to tell. One more tragic than the other. What else, Rui?
Well, a Kentuckyville driver pulled over after police spots hand-drawn license plate.
Now this,
nice try.
Now this sounds. I don't know how old this guy is, but this sounds like a teenage solution.
It does.
Yeah. Louisville, Kentucky. Why bother going to the registration office to get a license plate when you can just draw your own? Because it's totally illegal. That's why. That's something one Kentucky driver now knows all too well. After police say he was pulled over and he drew on his own license plate. It happened in Millsburg, Kentucky. just northeast of Lexington. Police did not release the name of the driver, but said they pulled him over after police noticed that something just didn't seem right about his license plate. Police say the driver didn't have insurance and was also driving on a suspended license. Police also offered the driver a tip. Next time, don't forget to draw the registration.
Well, so he gave it a try.
Wow.
I respect it.
You fucked up again, kid.
You can actually go online. You can see it. It's just like it's like a Sharpie. and you can tell Stace that he tried pretty hard to make it look like a real license plate.
Yeah.
But it is very clearly a piece of cardboard.
Huh.
With the,
oh my god! Why wouldn't you? Maybe you could even just like print something out that would look better, you know?
Or just get somebody else's. Couldn't you just get one from another car?
Yeah, that's true.
I think that would be easier.
It's probably the better option.
Yeah. So many better options. But he was like, no one's gonna. Who's gonna know? Who's gonna notice?
Well, he probably saw it was thinking, sometimes people have the temporary license plates, and they're.
Yeah, but then he could have drew temporary on it.
Yeah, but I think that's where his mind was. Like, no one will think if someone will just think it's temporary.
I think this was just his solution.
Well, he
wasn't
fucked up
thought
this
out.
time.
Yeah.
I yesterday saw someone driving on the highway with a paper license plate, not a temporary tag, but like a paper license plate. In when you're at a convention or something, and instead of name tags, they give you the lanyard that goes around your neck with just like a slip of paper.
Yeah.
It was that hanging from string that was shut in the trunk of the car. And so just like flapping in the wind.
That was an interesting way to do it.
It's really illegal.
What do you think? What do you think happened to him?
He drove to Kentucky and got pulled over.
Yeah.
To the guy you saw, Kate. What do you think? What do you think happened?
I mean, I don't know. I hope he got safely wherever he was going and nothing bad happened.
Me too.
Well, that's pretty wholesome.
Yeah.
He probably needs a license.
Yeah. It's probably some sort of desperate act.
There's a shortage of license plates, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
we let everybody out of prison because we didn't want them to get COVID.
No,
and now there's nobody to make the
not
license
making
plates.
them make license plates because they can't be in the facilities because they don't allow for proper social distancing or health regulations. So the inmates that we rely on to have our license plates can't do it.
Right. Oh, it's not because we let them out. It's just because we won't let them make the license plates.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe we can start making them ourselves. Not like this guy. But I can almost guarantee Rui could make one up in the machine shop.
Yeah.
Right, Rui?
Probably.
You could bang one out.
It wouldn't look good, but I could do it.
Stace, later on, if we have time, Rui's got a new guitar. Maybe he'll play us some Neil Young songs. Maybe.
Okay.
We'll see. We got a lot to get to, though. All right, can I get the next story?
Nebraska man argues with city council to rename boneless chicken wings.
So already I'm with him because if it's boneless,
they're not wings.
They're not wings,
right?
So I'm on his side already.
They're just chicken.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear it.
Nebraska man went viral this week after solemnly calling the city council in Lincoln, Nebraska to consider renaming boneless chicken wings. Lincoln has an opportunity to be a social leader in this country. We've been casually ignoring a problem that has gotten so out of control. Our children are throwing around names and words without even understanding their true meaning, treating things as though they're normal, Ander Christensen said during a Lincoln City Council meeting.
We got to start going to city council meetings
because of this kind of stuff.
This is the kind of stuff that's always happening.
Can you imagine with everything going on in the fucking United States right now, this is the thing you're willing to go to war for?
Yeah, this is what you're worried about?
He's willing to die.
This is it, Nebraska man?
He's a Nebraska man, of course.
I'm talking about boneless chicken wings. I propose that we as a city remove the boneless wings from our menus and from our hearts, he continued. Really? Multiple residents in the meeting were seen and heard chuckling during the testimony. Christensen argued that the meat found in boneless chicken wings does not necessarily come from the wing of a chicken. He also argued that boneless chicken wings are just chicken tenders, which are already boneless.
He is accurate.
He is accurate. It's true. I don't go to order boneless tacos, and I don't go to order boneless club sandwiches, Christensen said. We need to raise our children better.
So he eats a taco with the bone?
It's the future of the children. Our children are raised being afraid of having bones attached to their meat. That's where meat comes from. It grows on bones.
He's right about that too. This guy, so far he's 100% right on.
It's just really funny.
No.
that
He's a
this is-
genius.
I hate this man so much.
We need to teach them that the wing of a chicken is from a chicken, and it's delicious, he continued, calling the food to be renamed in the Nebraska city. Christensen suggested the city call the dish buffalo-style chicken tenders, wet tenders, or saucy nugs.
Saucy nugs, that's it.
Saucy nugs for the win.
Sorry, wet tenders is one of the worst.
Yeah,
things I've
that's a
ever heard.
terrible idea.
That is not appetizing at all.
It's just an option.
You kids want some wet tenders?
We can take steps and show the country where we stand, and that we understand that we've been living a lie for far too long, he concluded. We know it because we feel it in our bones.
Wait, hold on, Stace. What? Do that one more time.
We know
Let's be
it
boneless.
because we feel it in our bones. After the testimony, at-large Lincoln City Council member Roy Christensen identified the speaker as his son. Although he did not immediately explain the catalyst for the testimony.
Well, so they got in an argument at home, and he's like, "I'm taking it to the city council."
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I am embarrassing my father in
Exactly.
front of the entire,
Wow.
in front of the entire town of Lincoln.
Exactly where that was going.
And his dad probably had his head in his hands the whole time.
And he's like, ugh.
Jesus Christ, this fucking kid. 18 years with this fucking kid.
Where can we go for all you can eat wet tenders?
No.
Saucy,
All right.
A saucy nug sounds good though. That sounds.
I'd go
I
for
kind of like saucy nug.
Saucy nugget, yeah.
Saucy nugs.
I want a little saucy nugget tonight.
A saucy nug is also seems like you could only also use that as a term of endearment.
Aren't nugs also like what Pauly Shore calls breasts?
Although wet tender, it could also be a term of endearment too. Really,
It'd be a term of hatred.
I just want to say, no one is acknowledging what Kelly just said. I haven't thought about Pauly Shore in years.
I think about Pauly Shore every day.
Oh my god.
I'm his biggest fan.
I don't know how many people would contest you. I used to love Pauly Shore, but then I just stopped thinking about him one day.
Start watching Encino Man, and then Son-in-Law, and then In the Army Now.
Or don't.
Son-in-law was good.
we got a lot to get to. Let's continue.
Moving along.
Start my own Pauly Shore podcast.
I know.
All right,
I don't want to get into a 15-minute thing about Pauly Shore. Although I did see him at Tower Records once.
Wow.
They had some. It was like he was in town, and maybe the thing was he was like announcing sales at the Tower Records, but they were all gag sales, and they just let him improv it, and it was just really unfunny. And it's like get this guy off of the mic already. We're just trying to buy records here.
Poor Pauly.
Probably 1993 or something.
Huh.
Height of his fame. All right, go ahead.
All right. Woman sent to jail after she glued her vagina to frame ex-boyfriend.
Now this is going too far, I think, Kelly.
I would agree.
Could she glue it to a frame?
No.
No.
To the bed frame.
I don't think we can make assumptions about this woman until we hear what happened. I am waiting.
Okay,
Yeah,
here
let's
we
see
go.
what this man did to deserve this.
Here we go.
A woman identified as Vanessa Gesto has been sentenced to 10 years in prison after she glued up her own private parts in a bid to frame her ex-boyfriend, Ivan Rico, for the crime.
Ivan Rico. Now that is a good name for a bad boyfriend.
Ivan Rico.
Sounds straight out of some movie, right?
You don't take Ivan Rico to meet your parents.
No
That's
way.
for sure.
Jesus.
Gesto accused Rico of kidnapping her outside her home and later abandoning her while semi-naked after squeezing the super glue into her private parts. Jesus Christ. Her lie began to fall apart when investigators uncovered CCTV footage from a Chinese-run supermarket showing Gesto buying the glue and a kidnap kit, including knives she used to harm herself. Not only that, but it was also discovered that no vehicles passed the area she claimed to have been assaulted and tortured. Gesto, in her claim, had said that she was kidnapped in a black car. A court in the northern Spanish Fly of Leon convicted her of 2 counts of making up a crime and jailed her for 10 years. State prosecutors had demanded an 11-year and 8-month prison sentence. Gesto, who was dubbed the glue liar, was also ordered to pay her ex 25,000 euros in compensation prior to her lies being discovered. 36-year-old Rico had spent days in prison.
Well, so
there's more.
Okay.
Rico's brother Rafael, who said from day one his sibling was sleeping when the supposed glue attack and kidnap took place, said, "Our mom spent days crying after he was arrested." Gesto's original lawyer, Amelia Esteban, cut ties with her former client after it emerged that she had tried to frame Rico over the made-up 2016 October crime. Lawyer Mr. Esteban said, "I always believed Vanessa, and that's why I defended her. I feel humiliated and deceived."
But wait a minute. So she has to go to 8? She has to go to jail for 8 years? For
10.
For
That's
gluing,
so long.
For gluing her own vagina?
Well, because she accused
framing
him of
someone.
doing
Well,
it.
so what? He was only in jail for a few days.
Yeah.
That's a really long time.
It is
That is a really long
yeah.
time.
For a
But-
non-violent crime.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, it was violent to her vagina.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
she really hurt herself more than
I need-
anyone else in the end.
I need more
However,
information on that. Like, is there anything about like doctors were able to help her? It's gonna be okay. Like,
I think it's probably still glued together. I mean, once you super glue the vagina, there's no going back.
what do you
No,
No, I
super glue
mean-
isn't that strong.
however, it probably was not a comfortable situation.
I mean,
do?
yeah.
There's so many other things you could do.
Yeah, to frame somebody, you don't have to like destroy your genitals. Like, you could have just like cut your arm or something. I don't know. I thought
Let's-
that was too much.
Let's think about it for a second, Kelly.
Yeah.
Or not.
Let's just imagine,
Okay.
not
Okay.
as
If I was
not
gonna
as
frame
not as
someone.
any part of revenge scheme or anything, but let's just say you accidentally just super glued your vagina shut. What is
You know, you
That
just
will
drop
never
the bottle.
what is the next? What is the next? Right, exactly, Rui. The bottle dropped in her lap, and now it's
Yeah.
super glued together.
What?
What?
You
Was she doing this at a nudist camp?
You have to immediately pour isopropyl on your privates.
Okay, isopropyl alcohol. You're saying would
That's
work?
better than what I was thinking, because I was gonna say you're just gonna have to cut the lips open.
Oh.
Yeah, you get like a little penknife, you know. and
Don't
you
use super glue if you don't have isopropyl handy. Like,
just be very careful. With
Yeah.
with
I mean,
the-
isopropyl alcohol in your genitals also doesn't sound too
I was
fun.
gonna
none
say
of this
that.
is gonna be pleasant.
I was
Sounds like a fucking yeast infection waiting to happen.
I was thinking like maybe a warm bath would open it up. I don't know.
No.
Just
Why
dunk
don't you
'em-
give it a try, Kevin?
Just dunk them. Dunk it into a warm bath and see what happens. I don't know. I'm just
You're
wondering
saying
what.
dunk 'em?
Dunk them?
It's just really disturbing on it.
Like cookies and milk.
Dunk 'em. You gotta dunk 'em. It's the only way to save them.
When you're a kid and you're fucking with super glue and then you end up with your fingers stuck together for a few seconds, you think to yourself, well, this is it.
Yeah.
My fingers are stuck together for the rest of my life. Then they never are.
I mean-
super glue is kind of a lie.
There's got to be at least one person who had managed to fuse their fingers together permanently doing something.
Well, let's hope that Vanessa here is in a better place mentally and physically. Well, she's in jail, so
she's in
not
jail,
a-
yeah.
she's not
Mhm.
she's not in a good place physically, but maybe she's in a better place mentally now, and at least she's away from Ivan. And honestly, clearly Ivan, Ivan is being played as the victim in all this. But if you go to this sort of lengths to frame your boyfriend, then that is a bad boyfriend. Right?
Yeah.
Most
I think
likely.
there's something there, yeah.
Fucking
How do we know, though? I feel like
we don't know for sure, but
it could have been anything.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
I don't know.
Could have been a rat in the bedroom.
Yeah. Ivan's a fake, I think. Next story, please.
Doctors remove 15-pound ball of hair from teenager's stomach.
Hey, did you ever...
Yikes.
Ever seen the... I think I talked about it before. The movie, Are We Not Cats?
Oh, you did talk about this.
That's exactly what was happening with the girl in that movie.
Really stuck with me. That's how I remember.
Let's hear an actual not a fictionalized story, but an actual story about a hair-eating girl. Here we go.
A teenage girl in India chewed her hair for so many years that eventually doctors had to operate to remove a massive hairball.
Oh.
The girl, 17, ended up with a 15-pound ball of hair in her stomach.
That's so big.
Which is the weight of a 5-month-old baby. After an ultrasound, the lump was initially suspected to be a cancerous tumor, but doctors removed the hairball instead during a 6-hour operation.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jesus.
God.
A team led by Dr. Jian Sao operated at a private hospital in Bokaro. Dr. Sao said that it was the first time in his 40-year career that he had seen such a massive accumulation of hair in the abdomen.
Wow.
Yeah. Doctors found the girl had a habit of chewing on her hair, and a lump slowly accumulated inside her abdomen and laced the entire stomach. Sources say she is in stable condition and set to be released from the hospital after preliminary observation.
Well, there you go, everybody. So all's well that ends well.
You better kick that habit real quick, or there's going to be another 15-pound ball in her stomach.
Right, you eat 15 pounds of hair, they remove 15 pounds of hair. No big deal.
It's a 6-hour operation.
Oof. Well, at least it wasn't cancer.
And there's
true.
that. Yeah.
I mean, it's probably more embarrassing than cancer.
No, I mean, there's something probably psychologically happening there if you are.
Well,
eating
yeah, if
that
you're
much
chewing
hair.
on your hair, yeah.
I think
There's
she
a
needs
medical
help.
condition that people.
Yeah.
What is it called?
Yes.
Something?
It's something like that.
So wait a minute.
Trichomania, trichophilia.
Yeah,
Isn't that when you pull your hair out?
Yeah.
Sometimes you eat it too, right?
You know,
I have a
It sounds like one of my strain addiction episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a friend who pulls out her eyelashes.
Ouch.
She has a habit of pulling out her eyelashes when she's anxious.
Trichotillomania.
That's pulling it out,
there
though,
you go.
right? Does that
So-
include eating it or just pulling it out?
So
Let me check. But I said it without an accent, guys.
yeah, you did. That was good. So we all have ways of dealing with our anxieties, and some of them are more destructive than others. This is an example of a very destructive way to deal with it. Some people bite their fingernails, Stace. All sorts of things. So we have to have we have to be understanding in these kind of situations.
Oh, totally.
I bite the inside of my lip till it's not in a great
Kate,
state.
she's well known for biting the inside of her lip. Rui, what is it that you do? What is your nervous habit?
I just kind of like move like either my leg or
You got
hand
the
or arm.
you got the Jimmy legs.
Yeah,
Get those
exactly.
going.
Just
Yeah.
like jitter.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good. I would like to eat some hair. I don't have any to eat, Stace.
Start pulling those beard hairs out.
Oh God.
There's none there. There's none there.
And if you get this habit, you may never need to shave your head again.
Right. Now
We'll get you a wig and you can eat that hair.
You can maybe. I think it's she, but she is. It says that she's chewing hair, so it's not. I don't think the intention is to eat the hair.
No,
It's just-
she's swallowing it because it's in her mouth.
in
Like
her mouth.
it's not.
She's like
yeah.
putting the strands. I've definitely
Yeah.
like pulled, like when my hair's down, like pulled it and like bitten it. I think that's the thing you do as a kid, and then you learn don't do that.
No, it was when I had long hair. It was fun sometimes to suck on your hair a little bit. Sure.
I used to do that when I was a kid, and my mom chopped all my hair off because I wouldn't
Ooh.
stop sucking on my hair.
You see, that's what I'm saying. You
Chewing
learn
on
as a
it.
kid to not do it. This person just didn't stop.
Kelly, you're saying you never suck on your hair? As an
I
adult?
don't anymore because I'm afraid that someone's going to come through the door and chop all my hair off again.
Mom's
for
gonna
that,
come.
Mom.
Mom's gonna come bursting through the doors.
Yeah, mom's still keeping an eye out. All right, next.
Frenchman 80 blows up his kitchen while trying to swat a fly.
You know, all I can say is I understand.
There's the largest fly I've ever seen in my entire life is in my apartment right now.
They
If
will
anyone
drive you
just-
fucking bananas
And
for
there's
sure.
candle. It just flew next to a bunch of candles, and I'm like, oh, cool.
Set yourself on fire.
A man was trying to reach the buzzing insect, but he hadn't planned for the fact that gas was leaking into his property. He waved the bug zapper, which looked like a tennis racket and is designed to burn flies the moment there is contact. But instead of swatting the fly, the hot instrument ignited the gas.
Wait, before we continue, so that I've never heard of that before, Stacy.
Yeah, well, if you have a gas leak in your
I
yeah.
understand that part, but this bug zapper that he
Yeah.
has.
We
Yeah,
have
it's a
them
thing.
At,
It's a
we
stick.
have them at the
Yeah.
brewery for fruit flies.
It's
They're fun.
a stick that burns flies.
Yeah.
It's like a mini tennis racket, and it's electrified. So when you like go like that,
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you can
That's
hit your
terrible.
coworkers with it.
That is really something.
Yeah, it's a thing. The kitchen and part of the roof was destroyed, but the man escaped serious injury by diving on the floor. He was treated at the hospital in Libourne following the disaster, which took place in the French village of Parcoy-Chenot, I don't know, northeast of Bordeaux. An investigating source said on this occasion, gas was leaking into the man's house. He was using an electric fly swatter, which looked like a tennis racket. The very hot zapper ignited the gas, causing the sudden explosion.
That's fucking awesome.
The man was lucky to get away with a burned hand after diving to the floor, but the kitchen was destroyed along with part of the roof. He has not been allowed to return to his house and is instead staying at a local campsite until repairs are carried out. It is not known whether the fly survived the blast.
You probably did, son of a bitch.
And it's gonna come
Just
back and
flew
haunt
away,
him.
yeah.
Wow, that's
But
That's
you usually can smell gas. I mean, so
Yeah.
Not
that's
this guy.
kind of weird.
Not
that
when you're 80. Can't
yeah,
smell
He
maybe.
was in the moment. He was fighting
Yeah.
with the fly
Exactly.
that consumed all of his attention.
he could have
Well-
COVID and lose his sense of smell.
That's possible too.
Maybe.
Well, there you go, everybody. There's
what a
bad news
fucking
this
terrible
week.
day for this guy.
Bad news. Bad news. Well, Stace, that was the bad news, and now here's the good news. You know, on this show, Stace, we're all horror enthusiasts. That's why we're here.
Yep.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna give you some horror recommendations.
Right there on my TV. Horror movie right there on my TV. Horror movie and there's no refuse. Horror movie, it's a 6:30 news. Horror movie, it's a 6:30 news. And it's shocking me right out of my brain.
Woo!
One of the movies I watched this week really did shock me out of my brain. The doesn't happen that often, but it did this week.
Wow.
All right, let's get to it. We'll give some give you the listeners some recommendations. We'll find out what people saw. Larsa, what have you seen this week?
So this week I saw Cabin in the Woods,
Ooh,
Girl
good one.
on the Third Floor,
Ooh, good one.
Creep 2,
Ooh.
and hashtag Alive.
You
I
were
was
fucking
on,
at it, huh?
She was
I was on vacation, so I
full
had
bore.
time.
Wow. All right. So
Yeah.
so give us the rundown.
So I have to say that Rui was right with Creep 2. It was really good. It's similar to what happens on the first one, but with a little twist. And I really like it because we are not gonna tell the end. I don't know.
Excellent.
I really like it.
Okay.
Yes, I'm not gonna spoil anything. But I also want to talk about hashtag Alive. I put it last night because I was browsing through Netflix and it was like number 9 or something like that on Netflix. It's really new. It's a 2020 South Korean movie about zombies. And I have to say that before this podcast, I found zombie movies really stupid, but now I kind of like them. And these people, the South Korean people, have mastered the zombie movies. They are so good and they look so fucking real that now I'm kind of scared that something like that might happen. So this movie is about this guy that is in his apartment and suddenly he wakes up. He has no idea what's going on. He's a gamer. His family left the apartment for the weekend. He finds a note like buy food. And while he's logging in to play, all his friends online tell him to check the news. And there's like an outbreak going on in Korea. And nobody knows. And you never know how the virus started. But people is turning into zombies and eating people. And he thinks he is alone in this situation of trying to stay alive because all communications are shut down. And the last message that he got from his parents on his phone was try to stay alive. So it's his quest of trying to stay alive where everybody else is like eating each other. And I highly recommend it. I will give it a ding.
So this one, hashtag Alive. You said you saw it on Netflix?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. And I was thinking, like prior to with all my experiences with Korean movies, that this was going to be the same story of like me being like happy suddenly because it's something fun going on and then sad and then depressed.
Right.
But no, they were very consistent. And I didn't get all the emotions that I thought I was going to have in the movie. It didn't turn out as I thought it was going to turn out. So that was also good. And I'm like, it was the best movie I saw this week, aside from Creep. The other ones were good. But these two, if you have the chance to go into Netflix and watch it, I will highly recommend them.
Fantastic.
Wow,
so there
that
you
sounds
go, everybody.
great.
Check out hashtag Alive. I'm looking forward to that. And also,
And I didn't
also Creep
spoil
2.
anything.
And you didn't
So
spoil-
proud of you.
You didn't spoil
It's hard to
anything.
say anything about Creep and not spoil it.
Yeah, exactly. But watch it. It's really good. And I'm looking forward in case they decide to make another one.
Creep 3, yeah.
Rui, the teenage intern. What have you seen, buddy?
Well, this week I watched 1988's Pumpkinhead.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say that I'm gonna watch that next week. Okay, go ahead.
Well, so Pumpkinhead, it is a horror movie. It's kind of a horror revenge movie. This farmer out in the country, son is killed by some city kids accidentally. And so he goes to a local witch to conjure forth a demon that will take vengeance upon the teenagers. It's a really good movie. It's got some really cool effects. The monster Pumpkinhead is really cool looking. It's kind of sad because like pretty much all the characters except for like one don't really deserve what happens to them. Like with the kids, it was an accident. You know, it was a genuine accident, and most of them tried to right the situation. And, you know, the old farmer guy is, you know, he's grief stricken.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sad, but it's a good movie. I highly recommend it. The cinematography is very cool. It's also, you know, I think it has a fairly good like portrayal of country folk who usually get like they just get a lot of shit all the time.
Sure.
You know? But not in this movie, really. It's a good movie. I recommend it.
Pumpkinhead, everybody, I believe from 1988.
I haven't seen that movie since I was 4 years old, and it's one of my only memories from when I lived in Seattle, or maybe 3. And I was fucking terrified of that movie because my mother's boyfriend told me that Pumpkinhead lived in the fucking basement and that he was going to get me. So I haven't watched that movie since I was like 3 or 4 years old. So I keep seeing it on Amazon, and I'm like, this is the year that I'm finally gonna fucking watch that movie.
Well, watch it. Yeah, it's good.
3 years old. He's first of all.
Yeah.
I don't know. If you're that young, you should maybe watch it after you go to bed. You know, I don't think that they should be.
I watched a lot of horror movies as a kid.
This is how this happens.
Yeah, well, anyway, Stan Winston created the monster. And
It's fucking gore. It's really, really, really cool looking.
And it stars Lance Henriksen, of course. Great movie, Pumpkinhead. Nice one.
They have a really good Pumpkinhead at Count Orlok's Nightmare Gallery. So if you live in Salem or in the area, you should go check that out because it's got some cool pieces in there. But especially the Pumpkinhead is really, really cool.
Rui and I had a little trip to Count Orlok's not too long ago. Remember that, Rui?
Did you see the Pumpkinhead?
I remember that one.
Sure
I think that was actually one of my first trips to Salem. Was going up to Count Orlok's. It's a cool place.
Stacy.
Yeah.
What have you seen this week?
Let's see. Well, I saw an Australian movie from 2010 called Road Train, also known as Roadkill.
Yeah.
I had 2 couples just go camping in the outback, and they get sort of like road raged by this giant, what they call a road train out there. It's basically, it's a, you know, like an 18-wheeler, but it's got the 2.
It's a double 18-wheeler.
Exactly,
36-wheeler.
Yeah. So, and they get run off the road.
Yeah.
And it's, the train is basically, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense at all, really.
Okay. All right.
They're basically taunted by this truck.
Road train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a little gory, and it's kind of stupid, and it's one of those things where, you know, we talked about this before, where a lot of the movies do the, you know, there's trouble in somebody's relationship kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those.
Okay, so it's a troubled relationship.
Yeah.
And then you throw the road train in the mix.
Yeah.
And it's
a lot of people arguing with each other and getting possessed by a truck. It's interesting.
Okay. Wait. So
it's so insane. I don't even know how to explain the story because
it doesn't make each other and possession of train.
Yeah, like the train.
So do you recommend it, or what are we talking?
I don't know. I thought the concept is kind of interesting, but the actual dissection of the movie makes no sense. So, I don't know.
So you
it was
said
okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
But it didn't make
I wouldn't tell you to run out and watch it, but if you happen to come across it.
But plot-wise, you didn't really understand what was happening.
No, because it doesn't really make any sense.
You fucking baffle me.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Anything else?
I watched 2009 Open Graves with Elijah Dushku.
Okay. Love me some Elijah Dushku.
Oh, who the hell doesn't?
Oh.
Yeah, so some surfers are in Spain, and they're at one of those open markets, and one of the guys goes wandering into, some weird little shop, and the guy says, I have just the thing for you, and gives him a board game, this crazy old board game.
Yeah.
And so at the beginning of the movie, when it first starts, they sort of do like a flashback to where this game came from.
Sure.
There's a bunch of monks who are torturing a woman and burning a bunch of books. And that's basically your basis for what's going on with this game. And then, so the kids, you know, they play the game, and the game kills people off, and the winner is supposed to get their wish fulfilled at the end.
Okay.
But they don't know what they're getting into when they
Right.
first start playing the game.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It wasn't bad.
Wait, what's it called?
Open Graves.
And where does Elijah Dushku come in?
She's one of the people playing the game.
Oh, she's one of the people. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
All
like
right.
they meet her on the beach. She's a surfer.
I don't really understand any of the plot that you just explained to me.
No,
No.
the guy gives them the game. They
I'm
play
totally
this
lost.
game,
Yeah.
and the game.
How do all these people know each other? Why, she's just on the beach?
So there's a group of friends who are together, and they
Yeah.
meet Elijah Dushku on the beach.
Okay.
And they end up hanging out one night with her.
All right.
And then they go back and play this. They all go back and play this game.
And where does the truck come in? Or is that a different movie?
That was the last movie.
Oh my God, Ken!
Oh my
You were
God.
so struck by Elijah Dushku that you completely lost it.
Did I not make sense when I was explaining this?
No, you did. I followed. all
Okay.
that.
No, of course I get it. Okay, thank you. Open Graves. Remember when she was the tough cheerleader in that cheerleader movie?
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah.
Or how about Faith in Buffy the Vampire
Right,
Slayer?
right.
I
She's
didn't-
from Massachusetts too.
She is?
Mhm.
Yeah, she's from like Medford or something.
I think she's from.
Well, go ahead. Not Medford? Am I
No,
wrong?
I think she's from.
Go ahead.
I'm looking to see because I know where she's from. She says she was born in Boston, but I feel like she's from
I think she's
some
I
suburb.
think she's from Medford, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't know why you won't let me.
She's from Watertown.
That's what I was gonna say, Watertown, but I didn't know if that was right.
Watertown?
Sorry, Ken. Not Medford.
Kate, what have you seen?
What have I seen?
Yeah.
Honestly, I've been scrolling through, like trying to see what I've watched, and
Yeah.
because I know I've watched scary movies,
Yeah.
maybe like one or two. Can't
Yeah.
find any, but what I can tell you
Okay.
is Coolidge Corner Theater did a really cool drive-in movie night out at Medfield State Hospital, and they projected Shutter Island on the grounds of the asylum.
That's so cool.
And me and my partner went out to that, and the gates opened at 6, and you could like come and park. And I'm one of those people where like I want to have a good spot, so we got there at 6, and they like opened up all the grounds, and you were just allowed to walk around the old asylum space until the movie started. So we did that, and it was awesome.
Wow.
And
Will
honestly,
they do that again?
I mean, they're trying to talk to the town of Medfield about, you know, if they can do it again. It was a really great, it was a big open field on the grounds, and they had like a really cool, like blow up movie screen. Like it was like an inflatable, like a bounce house, but it was a movie screen.
I'm
it
a
was-
member
it was
and I
super
didn't
cool.
got that email.
Yeah, no, and I mean the tickets I ordered, like my partner sent it to me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing this. I don't even care what you say. I'm buying tickets." And then they all just sold out super fast. It was really
Wow.
cool, and it was honestly like both of us probably. I don't think either of us had rewatched the movie since like it came out, and watching it a second time was way more enjoyable than the first watch of it, because I mean, if you know the twist, like you know what to expect, and it kind of makes all the little details of the film and everything better, I guess.
What's
I
the
had a really good
what's
time.
the what's the twist? Has he been dead the whole time?
I can't tell you what the twist in the movie is. You got to watch the movie.
He's
Have
like
you
a-
not seen Shutter Island?
No. Is he
Oh my gosh.
Is he a ghost?
It's Leonardo DiCaprio and Mark Ruffalo, everyone's favorite. Mark Ruffalo. John Carroll Lynch is in it, who's one of the best character actors of all time and is not given enough credit. It's basically a man is sent to, it's set in Boston Harbor. The reason it was at Medfield State Hospital is because they used the grounds for filming some of the outdoor shots of the movie. Basically, there's supposed to be this island in the Boston Harbor. Mhm.
Okay. set it up, and then I'll guess what the twist is. Set it up.
Okay.
And then
There is an island in Boston Harbor.
Okay.
There are many of those.
Huge island. And on it, there is a insane asylum for the criminally insane.
Sure. Check.
Like the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
And in this asylum, there's a separate facility, which is supposed to be an old Civil War fort, which makes absolutely no sense.
We actually do have one of those.
Well, we have
George's Island.
George's Island.
We've all been.
But this thing looks not like that. And that's where like the worst of the worst are. And so he gets there and they're having this huge storm coming in.
Sure.
And he's there with his new partner. He's a U.S. Marshal, and they're investigating because a woman has vanished into thin air on this island that no one can get on or off of, except for one dock and one boat.
Right.
And they begin to investigate it, and things get slippier and slippier with his mind. Leonardo DiCaprio's character, that is. And
He's insane, and it's all. So
it's all
I'm
in
gonna
his.
get.
It's all in his mind, right, Roy?
He's a patient there.
He's
Is
a
that the
patient
twist?
there. Thank you. You got it. That's it. That's got to be it. That's got to be
I'll
it.
give you a ding.
Yes, we did it.
I think all these guys
Hey.
are jerks, and I don't want to be around them.
Well, it sounded. Stace, didn't it sound like that's what it was building up to the whole time?
Like I am the cheese.
It's exactly like I Am the Cheese. I don't know what I Am the Cheese is, but it's exactly like I Am the Cheese.
It's that book.
Thank you.
It's got a great cast though. Ben Kingsley is also in it. Michelle Williams. It's like a really great. It's a Scorsese film, and I'm not like a huge. I don't like Scorsese as much as other people, but
I saw that movie and I didn't remember anything that happened in it. And you saying that does not ring any bells to me. I think that happens a lot.
Yeah, so just anybody who hasn't seen Shutter Island, just forget the last 3 minutes. And
should have done a spoiler alert at the top.
And then go watch it. I forget stuff right after it happens. So, and I'm sure people listening to the podcast is the same thing.
The great thing is I couldn't remember the twist. I like going into it. It had been so long since I'd seen it. Couldn't remember the twist, and I was sitting in the car talking to Miles, my partner, about it as it was starting, and I was like, "Oh man, it's kind of exciting because I don't remember the twist." And he just goes, "Oh, you mean the fact that like this is why he's in there and this is what he did and like all that?" And I was like, "Oh, cool. Thanks for ruining it for me."
Really, he did that? Oh, that's awful.
God damn it, Miles.
He didn't mean to. He thought. I guess he thought that I really. Like I remembered it more and was pretending. I don't know, but no, I didn't.
Or that it doesn't count because you've technically already seen the movie.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're done being an asshole.
Right.
Aww.
Oh.
He spoiled the movie for you, buddy. That's awful.
He's a good egg.
He is a good egg. I met him. He's a great guy, but you know he still ruined the movie for all of us now.
He has spoiled multiple movies for me, so you know what? You're right.
Damn
we
it.
can go ahead and.
At least he doesn't talk through every fucking movie like Jared does.
Fucking Jared, he talks through the whole goddamn movie.
I have to watch my movies separate without him because he just never shuts the fuck up.
Come on,
Love
man.
you, baby, but God.
Yeah. Stace doesn't.
does that shit too. I hate it so much.
Stace keeps quiet during the movies, but I feel like when Stacy feels like if there's a twist happening, and Stacy knows what it is, she is chomping at the bit. Not necessarily to tell you about what the twist is, but to let you know that she knows what the
I
twist is.
do the same thing, Stacey. I do the same thing. I have to let people know that I know.
She's like,
I do that to Jess too.
I bet I know what happened. That's what she says.
Yeah.
I bet I know what happened.
Remember that
I'm usually right.
So she likes to keep some, intellectual superiority over me while we're watching.
Jared will literally just be like, "Oh, look at that guy's shoes. I really like those shoes. Let me look those up. Hey, did you know that this is that year those shoes were made?" And I'm like, "What the fuck?"
All right, everybody. I'll quickly get to mine. I'm not sure that any of these are recommendations. It's been a rough week, and for movies. And by the way, Kelly always remarks that I like everything. I like everything I watch, but I actually hate a lot of the things that I watch. I just don't mention them on the show. So, but if you go to my letterbox.com/sleazegrinder, everything that I watch, I review, and you can see all the things that I really hated. All the ones and 2 stars. But these I snuck through, and 2 of them I thought were quite alarming. One that I didn't, that I just thought was just kind of fun, was called Polaroid. It's from 2019. High school misfit is gifted a Polaroid camera that her friend got at a yard sale, and it turns out, everybody, that whoever she takes a picture of is killed later on by some evil unseen creature.
Say cheese and die.
Also, turns out that the camera was once owned by a serial killer, and as the story unfolds, you find out that his murders were justified, and then he had some unfinished business when he died. And the only way to stop this this killing spree that's happening is for her to finish his unfinished business. It's pretty solid, like teen jump scare horror movie. So if you liked any horror movies in the 1990s, you will probably like this one called Polaroid.
I really think I saw this, but just don't remember anything about it.
It's exactly the kind of movie that you watch it, you will forget about it right afterwards.
Okay, then yeah. Because you were describing it, and I was like, I definitely saw this.
But it was
because, like, wasn't a girl mean to her or something, and then the girl dies?
No, but that's
okay, I don't know.
So many movies.
So many movies. But it's it was a fun teenage horror movie. Now, these other 2 were much rougher. First was called Cruiser. It's from 2016. It's a found footage movie. It's very over the top for a found footage movie, though. Basically, a religious fanatic turned serial killer kills a cop, puts on the cop's uniform, takes the cop's car, and then drives around all night, chopping off people's heads with an axe. But in the beginning of the movie, he right after he takes the car, he kidnaps a woman, handcuffs her in the back, and it makes her watch the mayhem while he babbles on and on to her about the Bible. And then every time he kills somebody, he throws another piece of another body part in the back. So she's back there with all these fucking heads and arms and everything else.
She can build a friend.
And he's maybe supernatural because he gets shot like 100 times and keeps going.
Oh,
armor.
Gosh.
It's very bloody, very disturbing. But if you like extreme horror and found footage, this kind of puts the 2 of them together. It's called Cruiser. Cruiser. And the other one, and the one that really shocked me out of my brain this week. By the way, because we used that little piece, Stace.
Yeah.
YouTube won't let us won't play our show in Australia. Yeah.
Missing out on the Australian market.
Some copyright law. But I mean, who nobody really listens to the show on YouTube anyway. But still, Spotify doesn't care. iTunes doesn't care.
Thanks, Spotify.
Yeah, thank you, Spotify. Thank you, iTunes. Hey, give us a 5-star review so we can be the #1 podcast and tell them.
We just need 12 more.
Yep. We'll get them.
Actually,
we'll get them.
13 more.
We're only on the 19th episode, for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And we're already way up there. The movie that I'm talking about is Excess Flesh from 2015. This was a very alarming.
Wow.
This was a
you
very
know that's
alarming.
going to be a bad one.
Right. Just the name, Excess Flesh. Already you're like, oh boy, what am I into?
You're in for it.
I thought the reason that I watched it, it looked like it was going to be like a hot girl horror movie. Because I think there's a girl in her underwear on the poster.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, all right, I'm in.
They got you.
They got me. So Jill is constantly fat shamed by her glamorous party girl roommate Jennifer. All right, that's the setup.
Mm-hmm.
She decides she can't take it anymore, so she chains Jennifer to the wall, and then like force feeds her cake and gummy bears and stuff, and then sometimes starves her, and then sometimes cuts her up a little bit, and then does science experiments on her.
Yikes.
Holy shit.
And it's just this crazy spiraling descent into total madness. And it's also, it's super disgusting. There's just like lots of vomiting and rotting food, and everybody's dirty and covered in old food and stains. And you know, it's just like, what in the world am I watching?
Jesus.
This is not a recommendation like you got to see this movie, but I will say...
I want to see it.
But I will say that I have never seen anything like this movie in my fucking life. Excess Flesh, everybody, in 2015. I think it's on Prime, I think. So
It's on Shudder too.
Nice.
So
I'm gonna watch it.
Go watch it, but it's gonna shake you up.
I don't know if I can do that.
It's gonna shock you right out of your brain.
Yeah, Kate
I'm ready to be
definitely
shocked right out of
won't
my
be able to
brain,
watch
Ken.
that.
I know she doesn't. Kate's
Kate's not good with that kind of
She
stuff.
does not like gross food stuff. And there is a ton of gross food stuff.
Yeah, no, I don't. I think that one. I think I'm gonna have to pass on that one. You guys. I was gonna say just tell me about it, but don't tell me any more about it, please.
Oof. All right, Kelly, what do you got for us?
Oh, I got one that I want to recommend to y'all.
Okay, good.
I feel like it was just added to Shudder. It is 2018's movie The Cleaning Lady.
Ooh, yeah, I've seen the trailer.
It's fantastic. It was directed by John Knotz. I think that's how you pronounce it. Knautz. It stars Alexis Kendra, who also is one of the screenplay writers with the director, and Rachel Allig. It follows Alice. She is an esthetician, and she is a in recovery love addict, and she is currently having an affair with a married man, and she realizes that she needs to get out of this affair because it's obviously really fucked up. And she meets this cleaning lady that's in the neighborhood and ends up asking her to be her cleaning lady and befriends her. And this cleaning lady, her name is Shelly. She's a young woman, probably in her early 20s, but her face is covered in burn scars. So this woman, Alice, takes like a liking to her, and kind of like it's almost like she feels like pity on her or something, and befriends her, and then is just kind of like she's trying to recover from trying to leave this married guy, so she needs a friend. So she asks like the cleaning lady to stay for dinner, and then they kind of develop this weird friendship. And because of that, this girl, Shelly, the cleaning lady, she ends up becoming obsessed with Alice, and she like chloroforms her and makes a face like cast of her so she can wear a mask of Alice at her house.
Nice.
And then it spirals from there. You learn about Shelly's like childhood traumas and how she got the scars on her face, and you see where it all came from. It's kind of a slow burn in the beginning. I highly recommend this movie. I really liked it a lot. I thought it had some really good scene, like really good, not too much gore, but what they did have was pretty good. I really liked the character Shelly. I mean, they make you like feel for her for sure. Yeah, you can watch it on Shudder. I really recommend it.
That's awesome. The Cleaning Lady, everybody. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There's some recommendations. Now, before we get to the group watch, Stace, we have to get to the best kill of the week.
That is gross.
Let's go backwards. Kelly, what was the best kill of the week?
So I also watched The Thing this week, and I hadn't seen The Thing in a really long time. And oh my God, it's amazing. The creatures in that are fucking phenomenal. But my favorite kill scene in it was somebody gets split in half, right? And he's like starting to like, I don't know, the creature, and he's like split in half, and there's all these teeth inside of him, and he chomps somebody with his entire split in half body, and then spews him out. And then obviously since he was bit, he's going to turn into a creature. So his friends just come and fucking set him on fire.
Yeah.
With the flamethrower. I was like, oh, perfect.
Incredible movie. The Thing, everybody. 1982, John Carpenter.
Yeah.
By the way, a bomb at the box office when it came out. But it became a cult classic afterwards. Sergeant and Driver with
Second Life.
It's awesome.
Ice in Polaroid, the movie that I was just talking about. Whatever happens to the photo happens to the person. So at one point, the demon or whatever the fuck he is rips one of the photographs in half, and the guy in the photo, which is right in front of him, gets torn right in two, right down the middle. And the guy who is the town sheriff, is the guy from that movie Shocker. Everybody remember Shocker? No? I thought I was going to get more of a...
No.
Shocked me right out of my brain.
There was a movie from 1988 called Shocker. It was about a serial killer who ends up somehow getting into the TV, and he's in all these different channels, and they have to go into the TV to get him. And anyways, it was that guy.
Sounds great.
Anyway, rips him in half, and he rips the Polaroid in half. The guy gets ripped in half. It was really cool.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep. Kate, what was the best kill of the week?
The fly that I just killed.
Okay, she got him. She got him.
And she didn't even blow her house up.
You're right.
Larsa, what was the best kill of the week?
So I didn't talk about this movie, but the way the husband dies on a girl on the third floor was pretty amazing. He was also an asshole, so he deserved it.
Excellent. Now, Girl on the Third Floor, I watched that recently. I don't remember a thing about it, but what I do remember about it is that people find the movie pretty disturbing. Is it disturbing?
Yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I found it like a little bit creepy, but Jessica was really freaked out. Like she was so uneasy by the movie, and I'm like, "Are you really that scared of this movie?" And she's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "I don't feel that scared. It's uneasy, but it's not. I'm not scared or grossed out." She's like, "Because you haven't seen so many movies lately that you're immune to them now." But apparently, it's creepy.
I gotta look back because I can't remember what the plot is.
It was just really the whole movie from start to finish is very unsettling.
Yeah.
What's the
And,
plot?
like, a guy buys a house that needs a lot of. I'll let Lear said this is you. I'm sorry. Just go.
So this guy, he's an asshole, and the way to like try to repair his life is moving to the suburbs. So they buy this house that used to be a prostitute house. How do you call that? Like a happy house?
Oh yeah,
A
that's
brothel.
right. That's the one with the semen that comes through the walls, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you did this,
Yeah,
Ken. You
yeah.
reviewed this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I
that
remember.
one. That
Yes,
one. That was
okay.
gross. And the
Yeah.
semen. Yeah, that's what I didn't thought it was that. But then Jessica kept saying like, we have to take into consideration I'm a lesbian, so I don't know what semen looks like. So don't look at me like that, Kate. I'm a gold star lesbian.
Yogurt.
Incredible.
The icing on top of a cinnamon bun.
exactly.
Never say that again, Kelly. Oh my god.
Sorry.
You're really
Kelly-
freaking Kate out. Stop.
Kelly, I used to like cinnamon buns.
Now you'll like them even more.
Oh no.
Or mayonnaise if you're really dehydrated.
I'll see myself out, guys.
Poor Kate.
Yeah, but apparently semen is coming out of all the outlets, and there's some marbles following people and kind of like killing people. It was pretty good, but yeah.
By the way, I also want to commend Kate for being one of the only ones on the show who pronounce Lursa's name correctly. Because it's Lyrsa, right?
Yeah.
It is.
They-
Jessica says that it's amazing that all of you keep pronouncing my name wrong.
Yeah.
And we're
Kelly-
giving Roy a crap for emu and emu. But everybody keeps calling me Larsa, Larissa,
Yeah.
and it's totally fine.
Larissa.
Yeah.
Lyrsa. I've been saying
Lyrsa.
Lyrsa.
Yeah, Roy says it right.
Wow, guys.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow, so it's
I
just
care a lot about
Good job,
saying
Kate.
names right.
Kelly.
It's
That's
fine. I get it. It's a very complicated name for Americans to
Lyrsa.
pronounce. Yeah. Go, Kelly.
You should just pronounce all of our names incorrect, or like every person who doesn't say it right. You should just pronounce their name incorrectly until they start saying your name correctly.
But, but all of you guys have like super easy names to
Oh
pronounce.
no, I mean butcher them. Like do something weird to them.
Like
Kalai.
Con.
I accept it. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lursa, everybody.
Lyrsa.
Lyrsa,
Lyrsa.
everybody.
Lyrsa.
Who I mistakenly refer to as Lursa, and she doesn't correct me, so I just keep doing it.
I don't care. It's like it's so many years of this that it's all the same.
Yeah.
I know how you feel. I've been called Louis a lot. Way too much.
I get called completely different names from Stacy.
I just get called "Hey, you bitch."
Oh, ouch!
I get called everything that sounds like Stacy that isn't Stacy, like Tracy, Casey.
Hey, Stacy.
Yes.
Kevin Spacey.
Stacy, what is
Stephanie? I don't know. It doesn't
So
make
we,
sense.
we must roll on. Stacy, what is the best kill of the week?
In Open Graves, when the guy gets killed by gets eaten by CGI crabs.
Oh, nice. Okay. Rui.
In Pumpkinhead, when Pumpkinhead rips a guy's head off.
Oh yeah, it's good.
Juicy.
Good one.
Yeah, nice decapitation.
Yeah.
Right, beautiful. All right, everybody. There's the best kills of the week. Now, every week we get together and we watch a movie together. And this week's group watch is Followed. It was produced in 2018, but just got released about last week. It was directed by Antoine Lee. It's his first feature. It stars Matthew Solomon as Mike, a.k.a. Drop the Mic, a YouTube vlogger that likes to go to creepy places. It's like a Kate's Grim Day Out kind of channel, although his vibe is very broy and insensitive. That's his thing.
He's awful.
This
He is awful.
this
He's like
is-
so many actual YouTubers.
Well,
they're
the
just
thing.
fucking terrible.
This is, of course, very off-putting to the viewer. And although I haven't seen a lot of them because it's not my demographic, I know that a lot of YouTube personalities are like this. It's a
Terrible.
definite type.
Yeah, it's
you
pretty
know,
bad.
hey guys, this is gonna be totally sick. You know that, right? That
I
whole
wanted to fucking puke every time he said, "Hey, what's up, minions?" I was like, "All right, I can't. I can't."
I mean, that whole shtick seemed very realistic to what the YouTube world is actually
Yes.
What are our fans called?
So,
Shitheads.
Losers.
That's terrible.
guys, what?
How are we gonna have fans if you're calling them names?
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, they're obviously
I'm
they're
sorry.
they're,
What's wrong
Thank
with
you
you
for being a
guys?
fan.
they're people of taste and sophistication who enjoy horror movies.
Sophisticates.
Yeah.
The Sophisticates.
Yeah, exactly.
No, that's so pretentious. Oh my god.
The Salem Sophisticates, we like to call them.
That is so bad. Like, don't even try to make that work.
Sounds like they all
Well,
sit
it's
down and have tea.
It's better than insulting people.
Is it?
Maybe they like being insulted. I don't know.
I think I'd rather be called a loser than a sophisticate.
It's true.
So he makes a deal with Hot Topic, which is hot gothic in the movie. Everything's just tweaked. Everything's just tweaked
Yeah.
just a little bit.
Yeah.
It's just a little tweaked. One
little
letter.
too tweaked.
We're in if he gets
Yeah.
We're in if he gets 50,000 subscribers, he gets $250,000. I don't know if YouTube works that way. It probably does.
Yeah, it does.
So
you can get sponsorships, yeah.
So he figures that he'll get there to 50,000 by spending 3 days at the Lenox Hotel in downtown LA, which is notoriously haunted. And as we discussed earlier, it's based on the Cecil Hotel. And then they just changed a few names around. Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, stayed there in the film. He's David Olmos, and he's the Night Crawler. And he actually committed the murders there in the movie. He didn't really in real life. Although in real life he did dump evidence in the dumpsters, which they show.
There was another serial killer there, though, that was a copycat of him, an Australian serial killer, and I think he might have killed a few sex workers in the hotel, but I'm not sure.
And also, I've mentioned this before, but William Friedkin, who made The Exorcist, later on in the 80s, he made a movie called Rampage that was based on Richard Ramirez. and it is one of the most alarming serial killer movies you will ever see. So check that out if you ever get the chance. Rampage. And also, of course, the story about the girl in the elevator is true, but her name is Elisa Lam, and not Megan, whatever it was in the movie. And they found her body. Thank you. And they found her body in a water tank on the roof, as opposed to dried up in the vents. So they grabbed a lot from real life. So Mike and his crew go to the hotel, and then weird things start to happen. They're supposed to be there for 3 days, starting right before Halloween, and then leaving on November 1st. The crew's brains start scrambling. They're seeing things. There's weird knocking on the door. Mike does the elevator ritual, which we'll talk about in a minute, and sees a ghost. His editor tries to throw herself out the window, and Mike keeps getting strange feelings of deja vu that he can't explain. John Savage, who I later figured out, Stace, I was like, this guy is an actor from something. He was in the Deer Hunter, the famous Vietnam movie. Plays an expert on the hotel named Wallace, who Mike interviews early on. Wallace gives Mike some info later on that ties the whole experience together.
Well,
but
sorta.
At this point, his crew has already abandoned him, and everybody's lives may have already been ruined. Also, this guy can get his friggin' subscribers. And that's the basic setup. So the elevator ritual, this was an interesting, I thought, twist, because it was an attempt to explain whatever happened to Elisa Lam. So in the actual the video that everybody knows from YouTube, she's in the elevator. She's pressing buttons. She steps out on the floor. There's nobody there. She steps back in. She looks confused. Nobody knows what she's doing in the elevator. So in the movie, they say, it's part of like some Korean game that you play where you have to press different, like a set series of floors, 6, 2, 4, 10, whatever it is. And then on one floor, on the 5th floor, a woman comes in. You don't talk to her, because if you do, then you end up in a different dimension, I think, is the idea. Right, Stay? Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It didn't make a lot of sense.
And in the movie, he does the elevator ritual, and sure enough, she shows up.
Wacky things.
Yep.
Wacky things occur.
And also, the serial killer dude is a ghost with a chainsaw, and there's a little kid ghost running around. There's all sorts of ghosts running around, and that's basically what happened. So let's. And then it has an ending that's very, obviously we don't spoil movies here, but it's
we don't.
Well,
not the main movie.
Well,
come on, guys.
Well, sometimes they slip out.
Sometimes you guess correctly.
Shutter Island, it turns out the fucking guy was crazy the whole time, but.
Oopsie.
Whoops.
It's deeper than that, though. It's still worth seeing.
But it is still, I'm sure it's a great movie. But the ending has it's like an ending, and then it's another ending, and then it's another ending, and then you're like, just pick one.
The whole movie has a lot going on.
One of them would have been fine. Yes, Stacy pointed out that there were threads in the movie that would seem to be unconnected to anything else. So let's talk about it. Stace, give us your feelings about the movie.
Yeah, I just felt like there were too many different side stories happening. The main story is about the guy who's there, the YouTube guy.
Yeah.
But then, you have the girl in the elevator. Then you have the serial killer. And there's other weird stuff. There's just a bunch of these things happening. It's just too many things.
Yeah.
They should have just stuck with one story.
Right. And that's
too much.
So what do you think? What do you say?
I don't know. I didn't really care about anybody or what happened to everybody. They're all kind of annoying. I did not like it.
F for forget it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for forget it?
Yeah.
Well, the reason that he was so obnoxious was so that he could have a change of heart later on.
Yeah.
Stage.
Yeah, but it didn't
He does
help
get
me.
less annoying.
Yeah,
as the movie
I mean,
goes
sort
on.
of, but I don't know. It's just, I think because it's not my demographic either, like any of the stuff that's going, like this YouTube-y thing, and it's
Also,
annoying.
It's such a to me it's such an annoying horror trope when they have to soften a character, and they do it. It's always the male character, obviously, by making his wife pregnant. It's
Yeah, as soon as he was on there talking to her, I knew exactly that's what she was gonna do.
right. So
See that we spoiled that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not a major plot
No,
point or anything,
but
but
it
I'm
is
just
a
saying that they
thing,
do it
yeah.
all the time to
Yeah.
It actually
humanize.
really isn't a major plot point at
No,
all,
that's
now I
another
think
thing
about
that they
it.
throw in the mix. They just throw a lot of things in this mix.
Exactly. So they kind of threw it in there, like,
Yeah.
and she was like, "I just need you to come home," and blah blah blah, and then you go, "Was he going to bring the ghost home with the?" Oh shoot, maybe he did. No spoilers, but maybe he did. Now that I think about it. Anyway, let's move on to what Rui thought. Rui, now I'm sure you subscribe to a few YouTube channels, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
plenty.
Get plenty, in fact. So
Yeah.
you know YouTubers like this guy, like Drop the Mic.
I know there are YouTubers like this. I don't watch any personally because I just find them completely insufferable.
Yeah.
But I did get like the sponsorship thing, because like a lot of these creators, if this is their primary job, they are really in need of money. Some of them, because YouTube doesn't pay well.
When I was thinking about it, and he was breaking down at one point, Drop the Mic, and he was like, "Listen, my wife is the primary breadwinner, and if I don't do this, then I'm nothing, and you're supposed to feel bad for him." And I didn't feel bad for him.
No, I'm like, get a job. Yeah, I mean, I just what's Drop the Mic? Say Drop the Mic was a real guy, right?
Yeah,
What's he gonna do, 10, 15 years from now? If this was the main thing he was doing.
Well, if we were full tilt, if me, Rui, and Kate were full tilt doing Kate's Grim Day Out,
yeah,
we could do that forever. So, I mean, this thing that he was doing,
Mm-hmm.
you could do that forever. But you have to you have to continually have people watching, and that was the problem. Obviously, that was his downfall.
Yeah.
Is
But
you
the
have
internet
to-
is fickle and things change.
Well, and again, it's just like porn. You have to. It's got to be crazier the next time.
Yeah, but who knows that? Like the thing, what I'm saying is, the internet is like DVDs or CDs or records. Like there'll be some new format. You have to reinvent yourself. And
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Or who knows if this kind of thing is sustainable? Maybe it will go away and people won't
Well,
watch
Drop
it
the
anymore.
Mic could. It's just like Stace. Do you remember 1979 when disco was in? Kiss made a disco record. You remember that?
Yeah.
It's the same
Oh,
thing.
God.
Drop the Mic could do the same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think that they definitely used an actual YouTuber. I don't remember his name. I think it's Jake something, who was a terrible fucking piece of shit.
Jake Paul.
Yes. So one of the things, I'm pretty sure that's what the inspiration was from, because one of the things that he did was what really fucking outed him
Or is
was
it
when
Logan
he went.
Paul's the one who did
That was the other
Logan.
one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Okay. So he went to, I forget the name of it, but it's the suicide forest in Japan.
Yeah.
He went there and fucking filmed there, sounding like that, like a complete asshole and so disrespectful. And he filmed bodies actually hanging in the forest and like acted like it was such a fucking joke, like no big deal. Almost like in the movie when you see them show the camera over the side and somebody had fallen or to their death or something. So that is kind of like they're trying to play it off like he's that guy, you know?
Right. Yeah. All right. So let's get to it. Rui, what'd you think of the movie?
I do not comprehend the ending at all.
Right.
And for that, I'm gonna have to give it a buzz.
A buzzer.
I don't get it.
If it had a better ending, what would you have thought?
If it had had a better ending, I mean, there is definitely some character arc with the guy. He gets less annoying as the movie goes on. Like, he actually, towards around the end point, is, somewhat likable. But, it would have been a better movie if they had just gotten their shit together for the ending.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Kate, what did you think?
I am in agreement. I agree with Stacy that there was too much going on. It felt kind of cheapened all the real life stuff, just like how kind of ambivalent it all felt to like the actual real life stuff. They were almost parodying. I can't talk tonight, apparently, guys. Parodying instead of like making an homage to. Like interesting concept, but I just don't think they stuck the landing. And also the acting wasn't good. Like it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And I just, it wasn't the best.
Hey, Lisa, what did you think of the movie?
I will have to agree with Kate and Stacy. There was a lot going on, and I just lost my, concentration for it because it was too much. And I felt like with all the changes they did to the names and shit, they were like trying to like mock what was going on. So I didn't like it.
That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you for putting in better words.
Yeah, and they had like too many endings. Like it's a buzz for me. He was too annoying. He was too fucking annoying, and then he doesn't seem like that. But whatever. No,
you're right. And then like we're saying that there was like these threads. Like there was these two older women that lived in one of the rooms.
Oh yeah,
and,
I forgot about them.
And then one of them jumps out of the window, and you're like, well, why did that happen? And then his cameraman like tells him a story in the beginning about like, I saw a ghost once, and it was a kid holding a cat, and then the cat scratched my face, and then when he's in the hotel, fucking cat scratches his face, like another ghost cat, and you go.
The drug dealer scenario too, like
that was another thing they threw in there, right? Yeah.
Let's film a drug dealer and let's announce very loudly that we're filming a drug dealer.
Yeah.
What's the worst that could happen?
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Kelly, what did you think of this?
I kind of liked this movie. I thought that.
Thank goodness.
I thought that. I understand that you guys say there's a lot going on, but there is a lot going on at the Cecil Hotel.
Yeah.
There have been so many fucking murders and suicides at that fucking hotel. Lots of shit has happened. So I can understand what they were doing, where they were trying to talk about like all of it, I thought the elevator scene was a little, I don't know, it was okay. But I don't know. I kind of liked this movie. I thought I paid attention the entire time. Usually I get distracted with these kinds of movies. And the guy was fucking terrible, Mike, but I think he did what he was trying to do. He was trying to show how fucking awful YouTubers are and how that's what they fucking do. They film drug dealers. They film everything because they're just stupid. And they're doing anything for fucking followers, And I think that they did a really good job portraying that. And I thought that there was a cool arc there. And I didn't like the ending. I will say, I think it should have ended 10 minutes before it did. But that's it.
So is that a ding for you, Kel?
That's a ding.
Go ahead.
Maybe you can shut it off 5 minutes before the ending.
Can I say a side note that will make you feel simultaneously better and worse about the Paul brothers? So Jake Paul was caught on video from someone like streaming at like a looting in I can't remember what.
Oh right, yeah.
California.
Yeah.
Actual looting, not protesting. Like they just were breaking into white people were breaking into shops and taking stuff. And Jake Paul was seen on a video there. And then the complex that they live in California got raided by the FBI because of it, and they pulled out all kinds of illegal guns and drugs and all kinds of stuff. So fuck the Paul brothers.
They're just terrible fucking YouTubers. Awful.
My feelings on the movie. I thought it was. I mean, what everybody has been saying, the negative stuff that people are talking about is all accurate. But I also thought that the film was quite ambitious in scope. In what it was trying to say and what it was trying to portray. I think it did establish a mood, the vibe. It was that 3 a.m. vibe that I really dig in movies. You know, right? It had that perpetual late night. I liked the fact that, you know, in so many movies that we watch, in horror movies, the isolation is a big part of what makes it scary. Like, you know, you're out in the woods, you're on a fucking boat or whatever it is. They could just walk outside at any point and it would all be over. And I thought that was really tantalizing because they wouldn't, you know.
Yeah.
They did. One of them did. And in fact, two of them, you know, before the caused them big problems. But they went out and had a hamburger, and then they came back. But I just thought it was really interesting that, like, this is a thing that you can stop. But you know, you know, it's just sort of about the levels of friendship that people go through, the things that they'll go through for their friends, and you know, there was just a lot going on in the movie that I thought was good, and there were, in fact, some spooky parts for sure, and I like the fact that it's based on this. I mean, afterwards you can go and read up on the actual place and go, wow, that place really is fucking spooky.
Yeah.
And also, one of the things that they showed you is how kind of scary, and you know, Stacey and I have been to LA a couple times, and once. Couple times we've been downtown, and downtown at nighttime is a really scary place. Like that whole
I lived there. I lived in the area.
That
for
whole
a little bit.
Skid Row thing is really fucking.
Oh yeah, that
terrifying.
club we went to see that show.
Yeah.
Was when we came out. If there weren't other people from the show on the sidewalk, I would have not felt the least bit safe.
Oh my god, it was Remember, there was just like some guy.
There was
freaking
some
out in the
guy
middle of
like
the
with
street.
one shoe on, walking down the middle of the street, screaming and yelling.
Yeah,
it was
just
crazy.
It's just a scary. Downtown LA is a really scary place at night. So I don't know. At the end of the day, I thought there was a lot of good things about it. Overall, it's not that great of a movie, but I think there was enough in it that makes it worth seeing. Everybody. So. A ding for me. Hey, Kelly, how Salem was this movie?
You know what?
Go
With
ahead.
all the YouTubers and all that shit, I would probably say maybe a 5 or a 6.
Yep. There's some Salem.
They'll do
in there.
anything for the follows.
Oh yeah, and this is a place where you can get some follows.
You know, I will say they did have a very accurate portrayal of video editing.
Oh, that person just crying in the broom closet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet, but I can see how that
editing
could
can
happen.
be kind of stressful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially if you're, you know, they were trying to do it, you know, on the
Especially if you're
fly.
editing ghosts.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Next week's movie, if you want to play along, is The Babysitter 2: Killer Queen.
Oh, I saw the first
Oh, nice.
one.
I was going to watch that.
IMDb summary: 2 years after Cole survived a satanic blood cult, he's living another nightmare, high school, and the demons from his past, still making his life hell. It's streaming now on Netflix, everybody, and that's going to be next week's movie if you want to play along.
So I have to watch The Babysitter in addition to this.
I saw the original, and I remember having a good time. I don't remember a thing about it. I'm not going to watch it again. I'm assuming that they're going to fill us in.
Oh, do we have to see the first? Because I haven't seen it either.
No, I don't think it's important.
Yeah, I'll
I'm gonna
fill
do
you
it.
in if
I'm
you
gonna
need.
do it.
Well, you can if you want, but I'm assuming that they will. You know, one of the characters will tell you what happened. That's the way horror movies work.
Pretty much.
In the first 5 minutes, somebody will tell you what happened.
Like, remember, blah, 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 blah.
I know what you did last summer.
Before we go,
last summer.
Before we go, Stace, we got to get to the plugs. We got to get to the
Snapchat, Instagram story. Ooh, selfie, me.
I'm excited to say that Kelly and I will begin production of the trailer show this weekend.
Yay!
So that will be coming soon. The Heavy Leather Backyard Trailer Trash Spook Show.
Yeah.
So look out for that. From us, you know, we have our Facebook page and our YouTube page and Instagram and all that. But let's find out what's happening in the world of Lesa. What do you got?
Not much, man. I
Okay.
think we're going out to dinner in the middle of the week, but that's it.
Okay, wow. Well, that'll be something. Hey, didn't you get noticed? Didn't you get somebody? You were out at the grocery store or something, and then somebody from.
Oh yeah, no, I went to. Every time I leave the house looking like shit, somebody managed to recognize me.
Yeah.
And I went to pick up food yesterday at Barcelona restaurant in Brookline, and I'm walking with my phone, like I don't have a bra on, I have like short pants, and like I look like a fucking mess. And this girl screams my name like Nerissa, and I'm like, fuck. And I look at her, and I keep looking at her because sometimes like you meet people and you don't remember who they are, and I'm looking at her like, do I like? And she was like, oh, you don't know me. I'm a fan of the show. And I'm like, oh, hi. Nice to meet you. And she got like super excited. So it was good.
She was a
fan
fan
of the Heavy Leather Horror Show?
But I
the
look
horror.
like shit.
Was she a fan of the horror show or of Survivor? Which one? Because it could be either.
Equally popular. You
Yeah,
would say.
exactly.
She is not one of those 5 stars reviews.
Mm.
Damn it.
She should be. Did
Well,
you
make her one.
Tell her you have a podcast now?
Yeah, that's. I
She
hope.
probably knows.
Hopefully, that's what you shouted to her.
Say, by the way.
Hey, check
We
out
need
the
some
horror.
more. We need some more 5 stars.
Yeah, just casually.
I took a picture with her because I felt bad, but I told her that she couldn't breathe at all. Like, I'm like, you need to like hold your breath for like 10 seconds while we do this. Because
I forgot about the pandemic for a second.
Yeah, and when else she's gonna meet me? Although she's from Boston, when she saw me in this panel that I had, like intersectional panel, and she was like hoping to like bump into me in the city because she's from the city, and it happened, so it made her day. Her friend was like, "Who the fuck are you?" But I mean, anything for the fans. I look like shit, but I'll take a picture with you.
That would make me feel so awkward.
Hey,
that if someone liked me that much, that they wanted
Yeah.
to take a picture with me.
We had one that she even enrolled in the same gym that we used to go to hang out with us.
Wait, like after she knew that you went there, you just happened to go to the same gym?
No. I was going there, and then she saw on social media.
Don't tag your location.
But no, but she's super cool. Like, I mean, we met like that, but she's like super cool. We hang out.
Yeah, I'm happy to take pictures with fans anytime.
Have you?
No, but I'm saying that I'm happy to do it.
They hold their breath.
Hey, Kate, how about you? Anything happening with you?
So I'm excited to say that my partner and I are going to be working on some Halloween goodies for Spite House Shop. So go to spitehousedesigns.com for our website, and then you can check us out on social media. All our social media handles are Spite House Shop, and just keep an eye out. We've been very quiet on social media for a very long time and not updated anything, and spooky season is here for me, coming for the rest of the world, because I just needed to be spooky, and we're gonna make some cool stuff.
Any? Can you give us any clues as to what we might?
What's up
expect?
with the severed penis candles?
I'm still figuring out the candle mold making.
She's working on it.
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, candle stuff.
Candle stuff.
Just cool things.
Okay, excellent.
We found new materials and stuff.
Rui, you got anything?
Yeah, I want you to leave a 5-star rating on the Heavy Leather Horror Show podcast on
That would be
Apple,
fantastic.
Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, or on the Campaneros Radio Network, gocampaneros.com.
Thank you. Oh, very good. buddy.
Wow, Rui.
Any of those things would be great. It helps to raise the awareness of the show, helps us grow the show. All right, everybody, remember to stay sexy, and remember to stay spooky, and also remember.
So, if you're on MySpace, get the fuck off of it.
I love that.
Right, Stace? That's important.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also, don't forget to Stacey, it's important. I think if we don't,
If you don't rock out with your fucking cock out
I
tonight,
can't
never
with
gonna
this.
be on your socials.
Yeah, that was coming.
Oh my god!
You gotta.
It's your fault for not seeing
Wait,
it coming.
Do you remember the other one? It was rock out with your cock out, and what was the other one? Anybody? Jam out with your clam out.
Nice.
Leave you at that.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week on the Heavy Leather
Bye.
Horror Show.
We gotta get out of here.